Welcome to the Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-the-minute Trump news. Join us today and every day. Here's today's news.
This is TBNN.
Was Donald Trump born into a crypto-Jewish family? The Trumps' 4 generations of Jewish ties. WideAwakeGentile.wordpress.com. The Trump family has the largest number of Jews within the extended first family in U.S. history. All 3 married children of Donald Trump are married to Jews. A 4th child is currently dating a nice Jewish boy. This fact alone is quite significant and demands further investigation of the crypto-Jew family narrative. As follows. Trump's parents were Fred Trump, 1905 to 1999, and Mary Ann McLeod Trump. Donald Trump with his parents Mary and Fred Trump 1994. Copyright Barry Tailnick, Retina, Limited USA. Donald Trump with his parents Mary and Fred Trump 1994. Copyright Barry Tail. Donald was a brunette in 1994. Now he is a flaming quasi-orange blonde. Father Fred does look a bit Ashkenazi. Frederick Trump. The Trump, original surname Drumpf, foray into America supposedly began with Fred Trump's father Frederick Trump, who emigrated to the U.S. from Germany in 1885. His married sister Katharina had emigrated in 1883. Her married surname was Schuster, which is a German and Jewish surname. Another of Trump's great-aunts married a man named Freund, which is Jewish surname. Grandpa Friedrich Frederick Trump's career path was of a distinctively Jewish nature. He moved to areas with the gold rush, never mining himself but mining the miners. He moved to the Seattle area in 1891 and set up a restaurant, brothel in the red light district there. In 1894, Trump sold the restaurant, brothel and moved to the emerging mining town of Monte Cristo, Washington, where there was a mini gold rush. Instead of taking part in the gold rush, Trump serviced the miners rushing in with another restaurant, brothel, and again made money. In 1898 Trump started yet another restaurant, brothel named the Arctic Hotel, servicing miners in Bennett, British Columbia. Here Trump entered into a partnership with the Jew named Ernest Levin. Donald Trump's grandfather ran 3 brothels in 3 different cities, the last one with a priestly Jewish Levite. Elizabeth_Christ_Friedrich_ Trump. Elizabeth Christ and Frederick Trump. Trump, the brothel keeper, then went back to Germany and picked a wife, Elizabeth Christ, from his town of Kallstadt. He eventually came back to New York, where he became a real estate speculator with the money he had made from his 3 brothels. Donald Trump's father, Fred, was born in 1905, Frederick died in 1918. Frederick, Fred, Trump Jr. Fred Trump went on to become a real estate developer and a landlord. Fred Trump, according to his nephew, had a lot of Jewish tenants. Fred Trump was also allegedly involved in a KKK march, not against blacks, but against the Catholic police of New York. Washington Post, Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's special counsel, emphasized Fred Trump's close connection to the Jewish people, noting that his father, the real estate developer Fred Trump, was also highly recognized and praised by the Brooklyn, Queens Jewish communities. Donald Trump's mother, Mary Ann McLeod, supposedly was the daughter of Scottish fishermen from the Isle of Lewis in Scotland. Her arrival in New York was also the direct result of a scandal that struck her family at home. The sister who hosted her in New York, Mrs. Catherine Reed, gave birth out of wedlock in Scotland in 1920. Mary Ann had 2 other sisters who were residents in the USA at the time, Mrs. Christina Matheson and Mrs. Mary Joan Pauley. There's nothing in the media about Trump's Scottish cousins in New York, the Mathesons and the police. Donald Trump's father Fred Trump, who donated land for the Talmud Torah of the Beach Haven Jewish Center, discusses the impressive future with the assemblage. Source at Soda Hito. Both of Donald Trump's parents, Fred and Mary Ann, died in the Long Island Jewish Medical Center in New Hyde Park. Fred's rise in New York real estate was intimately tied to the success of Abraham Bunny Lindenbaum, his longtime counsel, and his son Sandy Lindenbaum, as well as Abe Beame, the first Jewish mayor of New York. Both Lindenbaum and Beame were intimately tied with the New York politics of Tammany Hall. Donald Trump Article 1979 Village Voice Beam Rubenstein. Bunny and Sandy Lindenbaum made Beam and Howard Rubenstein. Beam had known Trump's family for 30 years. In the beginning, Donald Trump used Beam's closest political associates, publicist Howard Rubenstein, lobbyist, lawyer, and fundraiser Abraham Bunny Lindenbaum, and Bunny's son Sandy, now part of a large Manhattan law firm, as the major political brokers on his Manhattan projects. Bunny Lindenbaum was an Orthodox and fanatical Zionist Jew. He was president of the Brooklyn Jewish Community Council, and the Brooklyn Jewish Center, BJC. The BJC is connected directly to United Synagogue of America, the World Zionist Congress, United Jewish Appeal, National Jewish Welfare Board, and the Mossad. Source: The NIT says in the 2012 obituary of Samuel Lindenbaum, Mr. Lindenbaum cultivated a scholar's knowledge of the zoning resolution, the arcane document that governs development in New York. As a result, he was able to bend the resolution to his client's will without breaking it. And because his clients were major builders and landowners, among them Harry B. Helmsley, Harry McClure, Larry A. Silverstein, Jerry I. Speyer, Leonard Litwin, Stephen Roth and Donald J. Trump, also the Fishers and Tisses and Rudins and Roses. With the exception of Trump, these are the most powerful and influential Jewish families within the New York City real estate market. Also, with the exception of Trump, all these families were overtly practicing Jews. Why would Lindenbaum shower his blessings on only one Goyim family in New York? Perhaps the Trump family is not so Goyim after all. Donald Trump. As Donald took over from Fred, Roy Cohn, and Louise Sunshine, gradually replaced the Lindenbaums and Rubenstein as young Trump's primary Jewish resources and agents. The Manhattan hard sell has supplanted the friendly, shrewd, understated style of the old Brooklyn days. Donald Trump 1979 Village Voice Story Cohn Pepe. Roy Cohn, Cohen, besides being a gay pedophile, was one of those major Jewish figures with his fingers in multiple pies. Cohn also had a fetish for green frogs. Cohn became famous during Senator Joseph McCarthy's investigations into communist activity in the United States during the Second Red Scare. Cohn was McCarthy's chief counsel and gained special prominence during the Army McCarthy hearings. After leaving McCarthy, Cohn had a 30-year career as an attorney in New York City. Cohn's clients included Donald Trump, Mafia figures Tony Salerno, Carmen Galante, and John Gotti, Studio 54 owner Steve Rubel and Ian Schrager, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York, Texas financier and philanthropist Sheeran Moody Jr., and the New York Yankees baseball club. Studio 54 was linked to the notorious Meyer Lansky. C26 Kmovksegu. Cohn was known for his active social life, charitable giving, and combative personality. In the early 1960s he became a member of the John Birch Society and a principal figure in the Western Goals Foundation. He maintained close ties in conservative political circles, serving as an informal advisor to Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan. David Friedman Jason Greenblatt. More of Donald Trump's Jewish associates include Jason Greenblatt. Greenblatt has worked as a real estate lawyer for Trump for 19 years, and is an Orthodox Jew and Yeshiva University graduate. Greenblatt studied at a West Bank yeshiva in the mid-1980s and even did armed guard duty there. David Friedman, 57, son of a conservative rabbi, is Trump's longtime attorney. Friedman lives in Woodmere, New York, and owns a house in Jerusalem's Talbaiah neighborhood. Wilbur Ross Renee. Trump with Wilbur Ross David Renee de Rothschild, head of Rothschild Incorporated. Another important event in Trump's business career was the financial mess in Atlantic City that nearly destroyed his gambling business and real estate development. Trump, at one time, owned a quarter of Atlantic City's casino market. But Trump was heavily in debt, and he started missing bond payments on his, and Atlantic City's, largest casino, the Taj Mahal, in 1990. Wilbur Ross, then an investment banker working for Rothschild Incorporated, helped bondholders negotiate with Trump, whose finances were unraveling. The final deal reduced Trump's ownership stake in the Taj but left him in charge, and bondholders were unhappy when Ross presented the plan. LA Times. President Donald Trump has 3 wives and 5 children, that we know of. 4 of these 5 children are adults and 3 are married. 2 of Trump's 3 wives, Ivana Zelníčková and Melania Knauss, are from Eastern Europe, where many Jews like John Kerry, Kahn, and Madeleine Albright, Janet Corbell, converted to Catholicism and started using Christian names. Marla Maples, despite supposedly being Christian, keeps Shabbos, eats kosher, and studies Kabbalah. Landscape 1,485,447,615 Trump ex-wives inauguration. Trump's wives Ivana Zelníčková, Melania Knauss, and Marla Maples. Ivana Zelníčková was born in the Moravian town of Zlin, Czechoslovakia, the daughter of Milos Zelníček, who was Czech, and Marie Frankova. Moravia and Zlin both have a long history of Jews. If you drop the second E in Zelníček you get the Jewish name Zelnik. Ivana Trump's marriage to Trump was her second marriage. Her first was to an Alfred Winkelmeier, who was a real estate businessman, quite possibly Jewish. Ivanka, Donald Jr., Eric and Tiffany Trump. Trump has 4 adult children, 3 from Ivana Trump and 1 from Marla Maples. 3 out of 4 are married to Jews and Tiffany Trump is dating a Jew. Ivanka Trump is married to Jared Kushner, whose parents are both Jewish. Jared's father, Charles Kushner, is a convicted criminal and most likely a Mossad asset. Ivanka. Donald Trump Jr. is married to Vanessa Hayden, 38, who is a designer and the mother of 5 children. Vanessa's mother is Danish and her late father, Charles Hayden, was Jewish. Charles Hayden's original name was Charles Hochberg, and he was a lawyer. Donald Jr. Eric Trump is married to Laura Januska, who has 2 Jewish parents. Januska. Tiffany Trump is dating Ross Carpenter, both of whose parents are Jewish. Ross mechanic Tiffany Trump 3E1463499197354. 4 generations of the Trumps beginning from Friedrich Trump, or Drumpf, have had close business and personal associations with prominent Jews. All 4 of Donald Trump's adult children have married or are dating Jews. That is no mere coincidence, it's more likely coincidence. There is a very good chance the Trump family is crypto-Jewish or at least has some Jewish ancestry. When the 2016 U.S. presidential election process began, no one gave Trump any chance of becoming POTUS. Nevertheless, there were the Jewish-controlled networks and newspapers giving Trump incessant coverage, which seemed to be more than all the other candidates combined. The real deal wasn't getting Trump or Clinton elected, it was making sure the choice was limited to one between 2 very blackmailable and malleable candidates, that is Clinton and Trump. Like many others, I mistakenly believed Hillary Clinton was the chosen one. The puppet masters probably didn't care if an obedient Clinton or an obedient Trump was elected the president. Donald Trump was the pre-selected president who the plebs chose. They are always conned into selecting a secretly selected NWO asset. Now all we can do is sit back and see what role Trump is assigned to perform. Or, whether he will become a JFK.
That's the news. Join us here every day. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell. See you next time.
This is TBNN.